do everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're not in the high school musical in a town of 1,000 people, it doesn't exist. You have to be in it. And I'm not talking about students. This is everybody has to be involved.
There's Ryan Hamilton, who is from a small town in Idaho, but he never let that stop him from chasing his dreams. And what'd you do, Ryan? You just threw a lasso around a star, didn't you?
I threw a lasso around the moon, and I pulled it down, you know?
Yeah. He really did. Ryan Hamilton is back to perform for you on Saturday night. He and special guest Bill Squire. It's Saturday night at the Mimi, Ohio Theater. You know, we have a listener named Ashley who lives and listens in Rexburg, Idaho, which is not far from where you grew up.
That's exactly right. That's right there. I went to school in Rexburg, Idaho.
Did you really? Maybe we have that listener because of you when you've been on the show in the past. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe. Who knows? People from Idaho follow me around. There's always somebody in the crowd from Idaho everywhere I go, which is interesting because people don't leave Idaho very often, but they're there. So who knows? My
favorite lazy headline of this past summer was, it was a write-up of one of your tour stops. Meet Ryan Hamilton, the comedian who was hit by a bus.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's got a little bit more going on than that.
Don't worry about that Netflix special. You got hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did get hit by a bus. That's the thing. I mean, you'll hear all about it, so they're not that wrong. But I had to talk about it, you know? I don't really know what else to do. I can't imagine being a stand-up comedian, getting hit by a bus and not bringing it up.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. And that was my thought is, you know, pain and infirmity aside, you're lying there going, I got a new 20 minutes right here.
I'm pushing 40. Yeah. It's you know, I say, like, I can't get hit by a bus, wander up here and go, paper clips are weird, you know, like they are, but I got to talk about this bus stuff right now.
Do you get a lot of pushback from bus drivers?
A year and a half ago now, so I have a little space from it, and I've realized that it's I thought it was a tragedy, but it's a comedy, getting hit by a bus. Because if someone says I was hit by a car, people go, oof, I'm so sorry. But if someone says I was hit by a bus, people go, oof. How did you not see that? That's so big.
Yeah.
Do you get pushback from bus drivers like that was your fault? You should have seen the bus, like this, and they all come at you and they're like, just another stupid civilian doesn't know how to use a crosswalk.
Sometimes people leave the show, and I wonder if they're bus drivers. You know?
Yeah,
I just pushed it too far.
Was it in New York? Is that what it happened at home?
It happened in Los Angeles, actually. I was flying home from a gig in Hawaii, and I landed in L.A., and this was like at the height of the Omicron variant, if you remember all of this. And so walking through the airport, I get an alert on my phone that I'd been exposed to COVID, and I walk to the hotel. But I always walk to this hotel at LAX because it turns out I didn't like shuttle buses before any of this. So
they didn't win you over with this.
No, this didn't help. So I'm in the hotel for 10 days, and my first day out was January 1. And that's when this happened to me. I was walking to pick up a rental car, and I just felt like an anti-vaxxer's dream. I mean, I was in the crosswalk with the light and vaccinated, and I still got clipped. So I don't know.
And you were probably feeling great because you just got back from Hawaii, for God's sake. And so you're like, oh, man, it was a lot of fun. It was probably you and a bunch of, other high-profile comics or what. You probably ran into somebody you knew there, and you're walking on a cloud because it's so much fun.
Oh, I was in the best mood. I was back to work after all of this. And, from Hawaii, I got through it. I was going to see my family for the holidays. And then, this happened, January 1, which is such a hopeful day, and things turned around.
It really is. Fast. People are making resolutions, and they're thinking about the year to come. And it was a weird time still, as you said, because everybody was, laser focused on their subvariants or whatever.
Was your New Year's resolution that year to get hit by a bus? Because you would have knocked it out. like day one. You nailed it.
No, actually, I had to give up all my resolutions and go, let's focus on walking for a while.
Right.
Maybe we'll reassemble our skeleton for the new year this year. Yeah, it was something else.
At the very least, you would want your resolution at that point in time to be hit by a Walmart truck, because
Make some money off
it
of it.
has worked out in a way. A terrible tragedy in some ways, but worked out for other people in other ways.
Yeah, I know we know who you're talking about, but yeah, that's that sounds. I mean, I would trade everything if this has never happened. It's just awful, of course. But,
of course.
Yeah, but it was. Now there's just, I don't look forward to New Year's Eve. I never have, but now this last year was the anniversary, and there's this. We always have this ridiculous countdown, but now it leads directly to trauma.
Right.
It's just 3, 2, 1 shuttle bus.
Ryan Hamilton is back in Cleveland. He and special guest, Bill Squire, over at the Mimi, Ohio Theater. The show is Saturday night at 8 o'clock. I assume you can go to playhousesquare.org and get these tickets. Has most of the run been theaters, Ryan?
It's been a real mix, but I've been doing a lot more theaters. Yeah, mostly theaters. But it's a mix of things. And believe it or not, I have one arena on the tour.
Nice.
I saw that.
Nice.
That's out there in Salt Lake City, right?
Yeah. I can't. That still kind of blows my mind. Yeah, Salt Lake City. Yeah.
Are you like Brian Regan? Are you like a local hero out there where you can just go and do like the football stadium or do whatever size venue you want?
I wouldn't say I'm like, I don't know what it is. We did really well last year. I will say I have no problem getting around town. Nobody knows who I am when I'm outside, but we've been able to sell some tickets there, so it's been really great. Yeah.
Maybe it's close enough to home where they say, look, we don't get a lot of action out here. Here's a guy from Idaho. It's close enough. Let's show him some love.
Yeah. I mean, the line between Southern Idaho and Utah is pretty, they think it's very different. It's all the same. But,
it is all the same, isn't it?
With you being a clean comic, do you get a lot of families that come out to see you?
Oh, I think I lost you. Are you there?
Oh, yeah, we hear you. Do you hear us? Oh, I don't know that he hears us. Do you hear us?
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, there we go. I think my phone system was futzing around. Yeah. Bill wanted to know, the question was, because you're a clean comic, do you have families that come to see you?
Yeah, I do. I like it. I mean, I have sometimes 3 generations. Yeah, it's great. I don't mind it at all. I'm happy. I get a lot of young married couples, but often, 3 generations will come all together. I'm like, the hippest couple on the cul-de-sac. They're at my show.
Yeah. Well, my parents always are excited when you come to town, and they saw that you're coming, and they're like, "Can you get tickets?" I'm like, "Well, I'm actually opening for Ryan, so I'll see what I can do." They're like, "Okay, we'll still go."
Yeah. Like, how much time are you doing? We'll show up maybe the last couple of minutes of your set and see Ryan in full, and that'll be a great night out. Is there a part of you, Ryan, in your brain as a creative guy who knows what he's doing, is there any part of you that goes, I want to write, and not X-rated, but I want to write like a dark, filthy set? Do you have that in you at all, or no?
Sure, sometimes I think I just want to be like edgy and like, push people around on their, push the boundaries. And every time I do it, it doesn't work. I don't know. It doesn't come out.
Here's what I notice about you is you do have a bit of an attitude, especially like from when you started to where you are now. It's not like you're going up there and you're like, it's a love fest. You're like, who I love? Every person on the planet. Right. It's a lot of nuanced anger towards stupid people, which I appreciate a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I often have to find myself like, how can I make this friendly? Like people, my special's called Happy Face. And so I get this thing, but I think people forget that the joke is I look like this, but I don't feel like this. That's
Right.
the joke. So I have to look in the mirror and go, what? How do I live my life like this? You know, looking like an ice cream salesman, but not feeling like it. It's so. And then, you know, I don't curse or whatever on stage, so it comes out like, I think people just go, we're going to have a good time, and I think they do. But
Absolutely, they do. You're incredibly funny, and like I said, there's a precision in it where you know how to walk that line of being funny, but also having a little bit of a, you know, as edgy as you can be as without stepping over that line where it's just like it's very hard to put into words because you are happy and smiling, but there is I don't want to say rage.
It's like
but
a spoon.
it's anger.
It's a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Is kind of what it is.
But I love it. It's like Happy Bill Burr.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. That's very nice. Sometimes I'm in a group after a show, people I don't know, and they'll be like, "We really liked the show. Thank you so much." And someone will go, "And it was just clean. I can't believe it." And then someone else will go, "It wasn't clean. I don't like that stuff." And then they go, "Wait a minute. It was clean." Like they don't think about it till after.
Right.
And
that's the best compliment. Yeah, that's the best.
Ryan, Happy Face is a few years old. Are you working up to a new special, or are you working it out on tour? Is that not even in your brain right now?
No, it's in my brain. I'm trying to, get it out there. I mean, I have the material, really. So if you're coming to see me, I'm doing really long sets right now because I've got all this material backed up. So I'm trying to get a special out there. We're looking for, nobody seems to be beating down my door at the moment, but we might just release it. We're looking at different options, but I would love to get it out there soon.
It's going to do well. Do you got names for it, like the bus stops here, or
actually,
putting the bus in Buster?
I have a potential name, which does refer to a line, but it's My Big Break.
There you go.
Yeah. We'll see.
I tagged Ryan in a photo I took last year. We were having dinner at a friend's house, and they had a Pee Wee Herman doll, and it looked exactly like Ryan. Remember that? And I tagged you in it.
I do remember that.
And it wasn't that you look like Pee Wee Herman. I looked at it and I go, that looks like somebody bought a Ryan Hamilton doll. It was like, it was so wild. And of course, now Paul Rubens has passed. And so I just tell people now when we're over there again that where'd you get that Ryan Hamilton doll? And they kind of cock their head, but it's all good.
Yeah, that's great. I'm a fan. And
are you doing any of those Seinfeld Gaffigan dates, or are you just out running your own thing?
I would have. I didn't get the invite on those, but I think they're just doing a handful of them, but those look really fun. I did just open for Seinfeld a couple of months ago here in New York at the Beacon Theater. Those gigs are always really fun. And I've opened for Gaffigan too before. Yeah.
Any truth to the rumor, now that it's kind of out there from Jerry's mouth, any truth to the rumor that you will be playing Cosmo Kramer in the Seinfeld reboot?
I just heard about this kind of through some other comedians last night, that there was some mention of this. I have not heard anything about any of it, but that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I think I'd be playing Elaine before I play Kramer.
I was going to say, hey, keep an open mind, man. You never know these days, They've got to that's a very 90s show. If they're going to truly reboot it, it's got to be very 21st century.
Be Jerry's long lost son or something.
There you go. That's right.
He met a lady in Iowa. And then there you are.
There you are. Idaho. Met a lady in Idaho.
I should know this. My brother lives in Idaho.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ryan Hamilton is back in Cleveland on Saturday night with Bill Squire. It is at the Mimi, Ohio Theater in Playhouse Square. Saturday night, 8 o'clock. Get all of his details on social media. Ryan Hamilton with an E on the end. As if it were Ryan Hamilton is where you can find him. And good luck out there, pal. I always like talking to you.
It's great to talk to you guys. Thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it. And looking forward to the show, Bill. We're going to have a good time.
I can't wait. I'll see you on Saturday.